If I had two of these side by side, I'd be asking myself, where is Cinderella? Because where are you going with this rack? I just think they're a bit ugly. I really do. I'm sorry, I just do. Now, don't get me wrong. This review's been quite a long process. Okay, I've had this Kriss Vector 22LR in for quite a while now, all sort of during lockdown, and I was just about to go out and do some serious range time with it, and then we went into lockdown, so I spent weeks just sort of fondling it and operating it and just getting the feel of it, stripping it down, this, that and the other. And then I finally got to the range, gave it some serious action. I say serious action, I put around 400 rounds through this. I do know that the guys at Silverstone Shooting Centre here in the UK have got one of these that has done 11,000 rounds, and all it's had is a new firing pin, and it's had an upgraded extractor. So that is pretty good. From what I'm hearing, reliability issues. Did I have any reliability issues? No, I didn't. I think I just had one, maybe two failures to feed, but it's 2.2 rim fire. You're never going to get a 100% perfect 2.2 rim fire semi-auto that is 100% absolute reliable. You're always going to get the odd issue, whether it's the gun, whether it's the ammo, whether it's the gun getting dirtied up, whatever. So no, I can safely say that this thing has been pretty reliable, but I just think they're ugly. Sorry, I do. I mean, come on. You've got the Kriss Vector, and then you've got the normal sort of AR. I mean, come on. I don't know. They say beauty's in the eye of the beholder or something like that. I never get that saying right. But I don't know. My personal preference, and I know we shouldn't go on looks. I know we shouldn't. But it's when I first seen these things, and it was a number of years ago now. And I think I actually had to go with an airsoft version. And I kind of, at first, I thought, bear in mind, this is a 16-inch barrel version because we're in the UK. Well, you can go a little bit shorter, but this is like your standard version that you get in the UK. I fired the normal length, not the centerfire version, but an airsoft version. And at first, I really didn't like the look of it. I really didn't. But then when I shouldered it and felt it, I thought actually it does feel quite good. Even me being a lefty, it does feel quite good. But I don't know, I'm just, would I, if you're used to using an AR style platform, would you go onto a Vector? It is kind of AR in parts, as you can see, like the stock, the foregrip, some of the controls ish. I don't know. You can't drop the magazine with your trigger finger like you can on an AR. You just can't do it. I'll show you right-handed. You can't just use your trigger finger to drop the mag on the Vector like you can on an AR. I don't know. Shall we leave the AR there, shall we? Just to compare notes. Let's take the mag out just to give me some room. Smith & Wesson 1522, if you're wondering. It kind of sets the standard in semi-autos, I guess. This sort of style of semi-auto. You want a real fast semi-auto, 2.2 rimfire. The fastest one I've seen is, and the lightest, is Ruger 1022. Going to say it, custom race rifle. You have a look. I've mentioned this channel before. I think his name's Lawson 11B. He does a lot of speed steel with the Ruger 1022. My God, he is fast. Check him out. And that's with the Ruger 1022 race rifle. But it's what you want at the end of the day. I mean, a lot of guys use these for mini rifle. This is going to be a good option for mini rifle. As mentioned earlier, Silverstone Shooting Centre here in the UK. The guys there seem to be big fans of these things. But I don't know. But anyway, I just like the AR platform myself. I'm that used to it. I just am. I just couldn't. I don't know. It just felt odd. There's a few good things. There's a few iffy things. But anyway, let's jump into specs and we'll talk about this in a bit more detail. Let's get the AR out of the way, because we are just. It's not fair on the Kriss, is it? It's the Kriss's review, not the AR's review. So this is the Kriss Vector CRB22 semi-auto blowback in 2.2 rimfire. You can get, well, it only comes with one 10-round magazine. I'll show you that in a minute. You can get the 30-round magazines now, which they come to about here. So they are Glock style magazines. This is a single stacker 2.2 rimfire, all polymer. Not a bad magazine, to be fair. Pretty reliable. Got Kriss Vector, or the Vector symbol on the bottom. But a 30-round magazine will stick out like that. Well, probably a bit longer. It comes to, I'll throw in a picture if I've got one. I don't know. I just don't know. Moving on. 16-inch barrel. It is threaded in 1/2 inch by 28 UNEF. So it's your sort of your AR-15 sort of standard thread on there. 6-position adjustable stock AR-15 style. 7.4 pounds. Okay, unscoped. That's heavy. That is heavy. It ain't light, guys. Price, I don't like to give prices in reviews because they just really do get outdated, but they're around the £800 mark here in the UK. Spare magazines, 25 quid here in the UK. Okay, this is kindly on loan from Livens. So thank you very much, Livens, for the loan rifle, and apologies for having it for months and months. So the Kriss, I nearly said Defiance, the Kriss Vector. Right, let's take it from the top in the normal rack and load style review. So it is AR in some aspects, like I said, AR-15 style, 6-position stock. I like the stock that comes with it. It's hard rubber butt pad there, recoil pad. You've got options there for a sling. I have a QD sling there, or you can sort of thread one through there, whatever you like. You can obviously change that to whatever you like as well. You can swap this stock out to whatever you like. You know, guys will want to do that. Maybe throw a bit of mag pull on there just for looks, just for functionality. Who knows? The pistol grip is, as you can see, there's your pistol grip. Obviously, you can't swap that out because it's all molded polymer. Okay, so this part is polymer, and then you've got a bit of aluminium and a bit of steel here and there. Okay, so it's not a full polymer rifle like, for example, the Smith & Wesson 1522. Full length rail all along the top of the receiver there. It does come with these backup iron sights. They look a little bit Magpul-ish. Not bad. There's your front sight. Okay, not bad, not bad. There's your rear sight. But to be honest, you really will need to throw an optic on here, and whatever optic you do throw on here is going to have a pretty high mount, because look at the height difference between the pick rail there and the barrel. Okay, so you've got quite a little bit of a height difference there. So you're going to have to mount up high. Okay, so just throwing it in the mix, guys, throwing it in the mix. That pistol grip has got quite a bit of, well, on either side, it's got like your stippling effect there, and it's got this grip pattern. I like it, but as with an AR, you know, for example, just got to throw it in again. Sorry, you can't swap that out. Whereas 1522 or an AR of some description, you know, the Kriss Defiance, for example, or Tipman or anything like that, anything AR platform, if you're not keen on the pistol grip, you swap it out. There's a Magpul one on there. Okay. So, don't know. Guys that are into these sort of particular rifles like to upgrade them. Now, there are other bits and pieces that are coming out for these. As I've mentioned twice already, Silverstone Shooting Centre, the guys there, they've got one. I think it's in Flat Dark Earth. They've got the short barrel on it. They've put a different handguard on it. It does look quite good, actually, if I'm honest. I think they've got an optic of some description and a magnifier, and it does look quite sexy, to be fair. But I don't know. I just like the AR. I just like the AR. Sorry, Kriss. Moving on to the rest, to the trigger. The trigger is, and we will pull it. I found it was a little bit spongy, mushy, whatever you want to call it. I just think it was a little bit mushy. That, I think, is due to the fact that there is a linkage that connects it to the hammer. So I think that gives it its mushiness. So you've got a moulded in trigger guard there. And then you've got like this, I don't know, it's like an enclosed hand guard, I guess you'd call it there. So there's plenty of room in it, to be fair. You know, even if you was wearing gloves, but I don't know, it just, I said to myself I wasn't going to say it in this video, but I'm going to have to say it, because do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a nail gun. It reminds me of a nail gun. If it was painted orange and had pass load written on the side of it, dude, I'd be on site with this thing fixing trusses to a roof. You know what I mean? It just yells nail gun to me. It doesn't, but it does. You know where I'm going at. I don't know. But anyway, it does though, doesn't it? Come on, guys. What do you say? It's one of these guns. I've not got my jar of Marmite with me, but it is a Marmite gun. You're either going to love these things and think they're absolutely ace, or you're going to be like, ugh, don't like it. But it is what it is. Moving forward of the trigger. Oh, I've not mentioned the safety catch. Safety catch is there. I do like the safety catch, actually, and it is in quite a nice place. More or less where it'd be on an AR, more or less. And it is ambidextrous as well. Sorry if I'm going off camera there. So it's an ambi. Anything ambi I do like, because I'm a lefty. So yeah, I do like the safety catch. So top marks on the safety catch. I'll give them that. It's in ish the same area, I guess. Moving forward now. Your magazine housing is here, okay? That bit there is basically just full of air. There's nothing in there, okay? That's where all the Gucci bits would be on the Centerfire version, okay? So I think, what do they call it? I think they call it the Super V or something that goes in there, whatever. Your mag housing is here. Your ejection port, as you can see, your ejection port is there. Now, notice it's a bit of a cone shape, and that is because everything's low down. So it's got to throw those empty cases. Obviously, it can't throw them sideways like on, bringing it back again, the Smith's back here. it won't throw the, on a Smith, for example, when you fire it, the shells come out sideways, okay? Not up, not down. They come out pretty much side. We'll probably go up a little bit, but they do go sideways. I've got quite a bit of a big handle there on this scope mount, and it doesn't interfere with that. Okay, so that tells me that they come out pretty much sideways. Okay, let me just lock that back up. With the Kriss, it's slightly different because the bore line is quite low. So when you look at it, there is, you can see in there, guys, sorry about the light. So there's your actual chamber right down there. So it's got to throw the spent cases up rather than sideways, because sideways it ain't going to happen, else there'd be a big hole cut down here for them to come sideways. So it shoots them up, and that's why you've got this cone shaped ejection port here, because basically it hits that and then that throws them out sideways. So that explains the cone shaped ejection port. In case you were wondering, it's because the bore is way down here, whereas on a Smith it'd be there and it can just throw them out sideways. Hope that's explained that a little bit better. I was going to say standard AR-15 controls, but there's not standard, is it really? Although that is pretty standard. There's your bolt release, same sort of thing. Sorry, bringing out the Smith again. No, not really the same actually. No, all right then. Slightly different to an AR. I'll show you an AR while we're here. Okay, that's on the Smith. That's your bolt release on the Smith. On the Vector, you've got this here. So this is your cocking handle as well. Now this is a little bit of a gripe of mine, okay? So let me just take the mag out. There's your mag release, by the way. Now that's not ambidextrous, but it works all right. Do they drop freely? I've not really tested. Let's try it. Yeah, mags drop freely. That's good. Okay. Can you use it from the left? Let me just, sorry, from the, no, you see, you probably can, or I believe they will, they maybe already have got an ambidextrous mag release. So they probably have, but on straight out of the box, this one's straight out of the box, they haven't. So it's kind of in a nice place because your hand, depending where your hand is, if you've got your hand there, I mean, I was shooting it like that rather than hand on the handguard. I was pretty much shooting it like this, tucking in. That's quite a good spot if you are handling it like that, because you can literally just press it, you know, and wang in another magazine. Yeah, I kind of like that. Cocking the rifle. Now, like I was saying, this is my gripe. You've got this lever here, which at first you pull back and then you basically pull it all the way back like that and release it. If you've got to get the knack of it, because if you just gently sort of open it like that and try and pull, nothing really happens. You're like, God, what's up with this? And it's like you're sort of pulling almost against the action, if that makes sense. What you've got to do is basically open this lever and just give it a yank like that. Yeah, maybe it's because it's a bit of a new rifle, I guess, but I don't know, I found if you sort of pussy around with it, it doesn't have it. You've really got to sort of just give it a bit of a snap and everything works nicely. If I do it slowly, look, see, I'm pulling on that and nothing's happening. If I just give it a quick snap, no problem, no problem. So that took me a while to sort of figure out. I was like, you know, I don't want to pull this thing too hard and if I end up breaking it or whatnot. Like, that usually happens with me when I'm out testing. Usually break things. No, I don't really. Or occasionally, but that's my job, innit? I've just got to test stuff to the max, I guess, and hopefully not get the bill afterwards. So yeah, that'll take some getting used to, guys. If you're doing mini rifle with this thing, you know, seconds count. Are you going to like that? You know, lefties, I found myself, to be fair, I mean, you righties are all right, because you're just going to go like this, aren't you? Just reload like that or whatever. I found myself putting my hand over and doing it like that, being a lefty. It worked for me, I guess. It did to an extent. Moving along to the front of the receiver, you've got the same sort of grip there. So it does indicate that you can basically use that as a hand grip because it's got the same texturing as the pistol grip. Okay. Free floating handguard, as mentioned, M-lock slots there, so you can throw on nice Gucci M-lock furniture. And then there's your barrel, and as mentioned, 1/2 inch UNEF 28 TPI thread on there. So yeah, it'd look pretty sick with a can on, this thing would. I'd probably shorten the barrel and then put a can on, you know, but I think I'd definitely swap out that handguard myself. It's a bit bland, I don't know. You can get these in, they call them the Stormtrooper guns. Quite interesting. Also available in white. So don your Stormtrooper outfit for that thing. Flat Dark Earth, I'm not sure whether they do them in OD and black. So, by the way, that was the DK, what is it? DMK Defiance. Forget the name of it now. I think I was one of the first to have one of those here in the UK on test. Really impressed with that thing. So yeah, the Kriss Vector is an interesting one. Shall we pull the trigger, see what it does, just for fun? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. It's got to be done. I think we are cocked anyway, but let's just give it a pull. See what it does. No idea what this trigger is going to pull. It did feel all right. Like I said, it was just a little bit squashy for me. I don't know. I mean, with rifles like this, it pays not to be a trigger snob, doesn't it? Oh, okay, £5, 13 ounces, so almost £6 on the trigger. Can you adjust it? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I think it is what it is. It's, you know, it's full on nail gun straight out of the box. So like it or lump it, I'm afraid. Now then, let's give this thing a field strip. Oh, I'm nervous about doing a field strip. You know me, it always goes wrong when I do a field strip. But this is pretty easy actually. So first of all, let's mag out. That come out effortlessly. Let's cock. Hang on a sec. Let's just hold the bolt open. So basically, these 4 pins here, you just drop them out. Okay. So he says, once you've got one out, you're all right because you can use the others to push them out. So basically, push these pins out. Now you can't just break it open like you can on an AR-15, and that's what I do like about the ARs. The way you can just, you know, take one pin out, crack it open if you've got a problem. With this, and it will fall to bits in a minute. There we go. Take those pins out. It all comes apart like that. Okay. Now here is your main bit. Now I'll give you a good close up. That's that box of air, like I was saying. So that would be full of Gucci stuff. This was the centerfire version. But there's your bolt. You can take your bolt out. I'm not going to do that, but you have to take a few other bits and pieces out. But I'm definitely not doing that on camera. So nice and accessible, you know, for lubrication and stuff. Keep it clean. That's all I'm going to say is keep it clean. This is where all your weight is, by the way, obviously because of the barrel. There's hardly any weight in that. So this is all your metal work, basically. So I'll give you guys a good look. Don't know if you can see down the barrel. Don't think you can. So there is your lower. Here is your upper. Not really much to see here, but that's what I mean with the linkage there on the trigger to hammer. So that explains the squashiness of the trigger, is because you've got that linkage. You know, it's a bit squashy. That's all I'm going to say. But there's some of the guts of your trigger. Okay. Putting it back together, pretty much the opposite of what I've just done. Excuse me. But no doubt I will get it wrong on camera. It is guaranteed. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to sort of just do it this way. I'll never be able to do it. Once you get a couple first top pins in, you're laughing. You're laughing. This little plate here basically just goes in like so, and then you drop your pins in. So there is your field strip. Pretty easy field strip really, but would you want to do that out in the field, as in, you know, at the range in the competition? You don't want to be losing these pins, as you're going to be in trouble, aren't you? So that's where I personally like the AR style, where you can just basically push a pin out. For those who don't know, one pin at the back, give it a slap, and the AR drops open, and then you can get your bolt out. Dead easy, like that. How quick was that? Seconds, and that's just one pin. So, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I think time will tell with the Kriss Vector. Here in the UK on the mini rifle scene, I really do think it will. I don't know, people will love it, people will pimp them up, you know, people will have them running Gucci. I am impressed the fact that people that I know have put, you know, 11, well, let's say 10,000 rounds plus through one of them. Just had a new pin and an upgraded, I think they, not replacement, I think it's an upgraded extractor, which works a bit better than the standard one, so that's worth noting. But yeah guys, I mean, I don't know whether I'd have one myself. I don't think I would. I really don't. That's me personally, guys. Don't go, you know, it's down to what you guys like. It's just not a looker for me. You know, I like something to look pretty good as well. I know it's not all about looks, but hey ho. Right, manual. The manual is pretty damn good. Got all your usual safety do's and don'ts, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Oh God. Now you see, I'd like it more if it was the short version. It's just that. It's the forend bit. It's all good until we get to about here, and then it's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, real good detailed photographs there, good detailed drawings or diagrams explaining the magazines, how to load the magazines, how to cock it, how to operate the safety, pretty much everything, all in English. Troubleshooting bits, how to operate the sights, adjust the sights, field strip. Really, really good manual. Sorry guys, I'm holding it way away from the camera. If you're interested. Just a real good manual. I'm very impressed with the manual. I always give manual scores. I think we'll give if it's got exploded diagrams, it's going to do well. And this is the first time I've really looked through it. Well, apart from how to learn how to field strip it. I can't remember whether it's got exploded diagrams. Gives you tips on how to clean it, which is very good. Come on, give me an exploded diagram for top marks. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Yeah, baby. We're gonna not quite top marks because we're not in colour. I'm gonna give it 9. 9 out of 10 on the manual. That is a very good exploded diagram, or 2 actually. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. So yeah, really, really good manual for those that are interested. It doesn't come in one of those horrible plastic cases that you just throw in the loft and never ever use again. It comes in a recyclable cardboard box, which is a bit more friendly, isn't it, for the environment and all that. So yeah, that is the Kriss Vector 22 rimfire. Bit of a Marmite one. I like shooting it. I'm not going to lie. I like shooting it. Ideally, I should have put a red dot on it. You know, really sort of stretched it out. I was shooting my steels at various ranges. Only probably going out to about 70 yards. Most of them were around the sort of 20, 25 yards. You know, just steels, just functionality testing, just rapid fire. I only got the one magazine and it was 10 round magazine, so that was a bit of a pain, so I was forever reloading. But all in all, I do like it. I do like the concept of it. You know, fair play to anyone that brings different stuff here into the UK, especially. You know, you can't moan at that. You definitely can't, else we'd just be stuck with the same old, same old. You know, we're getting some really interesting stuff here in the UK recently. The last sort of year or two, we're getting some real cool stuff in, especially on the shotgun front. But no, the Kriss Vector, I love the concept of it. I think it ergonomically, I think it is very comfortable. It is very comfortable to shoot. And that was one of the first things I noticed, because I was a little bit skeptical when I first seen these. And I was like, oh, I don't know, it just looks... I just can't get that nail gun thing out of my head. You guys are going to nickname it now, the nail gun. Please don't blame me. I don't know, I just thought to myself, I really don't like the look of it. And then when I actually held one of these 22 rimfire ones at the British, I think was it the British shooting show, or was it a Target shooting show? Can't remember. I thought, do you know what? That is really comfortable to, you know, to hold and shoulder. So I thought, well, the proof in the pudding is going to be when it gets on the range and here in the Rat Cave. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these things fare and see if there are a lot of them about in the next sort of 12 months, couple of years time maybe, especially out on the mini rifle circuits. It'll be very interesting to see how many will be out there. Will they take over the AR-15? I don't think so. I don't think so myself. I just love the AR platform, you know. But it's a new concept. We need new concepts, you know. I mean, look at Glock, for instance. When the first Glock 17 come out, people were like, ugh, look at that thing, it's horrible. You know, all the 1911 guys. So, I don't know. Probably another gripe of mine while I'm sort of just looking at it. You can't really put, well, I don't know. Unless the likes of RACKNLOAD or someone like that can come up with a mag swell for it. I don't know how you'd fit it on there, to be fair. Would you need a mag swell for it? Because at the end of the day, they are the pistol magazines, aren't they, really? Don't know. Interesting one. But anyway, guys, that is your RACKNLOAD review. I'm going to move the AR out of the way. That is your RACKNLOAD review of the Kriss Vector 22 rimfire. Thank you for watching. That is RACKNLOAD. Don't call it a nail gun. See ya.